Throughout history, humanity has tried to understand nature, make life easier, and build a safer world. We built shelters, we founded cities, we developed technologies, we advanced science, we shortened distances, we accelerated production. Today, humanity possesses possibilities that would have been unimaginable in the past. A person can now access information from the other side of the world within seconds through a small device in their pocket. Tasks that once took days can now be completed in minutes. Modern medicine saves millions of lives. Technology simplifies many aspects of life. Yet despite all this progress, an invisible problem continues to grow within modern humanity. While people improved the external world, they gradually weakened their connection with their inner world. Today, many people live more comfortably than previous generations ever did physically. And yet, they often feel more exhausted, more anxious, more distracted, and more dissatisfied. Because the modern age did not only accelerate life, it also turned the human mind into a system of constant occupation. People no longer become tired only from working, they become tired from thinking, comparing themselves, trying to keep up, and struggling to remain visible. There is always pressure for more. Be more successful. Be more productive. Look better. Earn more. Own more. And after a while, people begin to forget something important. Life is not merely a project to endlessly expand. Perhaps this is the greatest paradox of our era. While humanity tries to make life easier, it simultaneously makes it more complicated. And most of the time, this is not done with bad intentions. People simply want peace. They want to feel valuable. They want to feel safe. They are trying to keep up with life. But over time, the rhythm of the modern system can distance people from their own essence. This video was not made to completely reject the modern world, to treat technology, science, work, or progress as enemies. Because the problem is not the existence of tools, the problem is the unconscious relationship people develop with those tools. At some point, people stop being the masters of what they own, and begin carrying the burden of it instead. This video is a journey of reflection that tries to understand why modern people are so exhausted, why they constantly feel incomplete, why they search for peace in the future, and why they drift away from their own inner voice. Some of what is discussed here may feel familiar, because this video is not about specific individuals, it is about the shared human condition we all live through. At times, all of us get lost in speed. We compare ourselves to others. We try to keep up. We feel guilty even while resting. We avoid silence. We begin measuring our worth through external standards. And without realizing it, we start exhausting ourselves inside the very system we created. Perhaps this is why the greatest need of modern humanity is not a new kind of speed, but the ability to restore balance. The purpose of this video is not to provide absolute answers. Rather, it is to remind us of certain questions that have not been asked enough for a long time. What do we truly need? Why are we constantly trying to keep up? Why doesn't success always bring peace? Why do we feel so lonely despite being so connected? And most importantly, can a human being preserve their essence while living within the modern world? Perhaps true freedom is not about having everything, but about realizing which burdens were never truly necessary. Because sometimes the peace people are searching for is not found in reaching for more, but in returning closer to themselves. Life, at its core, is as simple as a child's reasonless laughter, as clear as a tree silently bearing fruit, and easy enough to make us truly happy. The fundamental law of the universe and creation is simplicity. True happiness emerges naturally when we connect with this pure and naked essence of life. Simplicity offers sincerity, lightness, inner peace, and genuine living. Complexity, on the other hand, brings only burden, exhaustion, and suffering. Yet today, humanity stands in the middle of a tragic paradox. Living a simple, easy, and authentic life has become the hardest and most courage-demanding act in the world. Because we are under the spell of a massive global hypnosis that tells us complexity and hardship are signs of nobility, success, or necessity. Our eyes have been painted over, our minds sedated. We have become addicted to false complexity, to the point where we can no longer stop making life difficult for ourselves and those we love. The most painful part is this. This labyrinth was not built by an external enemy. We built it with our own hands, through greed, fears, and desires. Then we deceived ourselves by searching for someone else to blame. We became beings who contradict themselves, prisoners who fall in love with the guards of the prisons they created. The system saw this human weakness and turned every aspect of life into a profit machine. Behind every unnecessary complication lies one simple truth: interest, deception, and exploitation. And so, in every area of life, we continue to pile artificial burdens onto the essence of existence with our own hands. Here are those burdens, the sweet lies behind them, and the naked truths beneath them. What the human body truly needs is astonishingly effortless. A fresh vegetable from the soil, fruit picked from a branch, clean water, fresh air, and movement. We pushed food into factories, filled it with chemicals to extend shelf life, packaged it, and consumed these poisons under the label of prestigious modern living. Then we became completely dependent on massive medical and pharmaceutical industries to treat the illnesses created by those same poisons. Instead of simply picking an apple from a tree and eating it, we buy sugary, additive-filled apple juice from supermarkets. Then we spend fortunes on gyms, detox experts, and weight loss teas to solve the obesity and insulin resistance caused by artificial sugar. Instead of simply picking an apple from a tree and eating it, we buy sugary, additive-filled apple juice from supermarkets. Then we spend fortunes on gyms, detox experts, and weight loss teas to solve the obesity and insulin resistance caused by artificial sugar. Instead of getting fresh air and drinking water for a mild headache, we immediately reach for chemical pills. Then we take a second pill to fix the stomach damage caused by the first one. We become loyal customers of the vicious cycle we created ourselves. Then we take a second pill to fix the stomach damage caused by the first one. We become loyal customers of the vicious cycle we created ourselves. Today, if you tell someone, "Eat naturally, eat less, and walk, you will heal," they won't believe you. They feel they must rely on expensive medicine, complicated diets, or trendy clinics. We have become too hypnotized to believe in the healing power of a simple walk. Knowing and understanding are part of human nature. A child learns about the world through questions, experimentation, direct experience, and joy. Real knowledge is clear, practical, and liberating. But we turned education into a labyrinth of diplomas, titles, memorization, and endless examinations. We hid knowledge behind incomprehensible terminology so that some people could feel superior to others, and maintain power through intellectual caste systems. The essence of learning a language is communication. Yet we trapped children for years in suffocating grammar rules and test books, only to produce generations who know the rules by heart, but cannot speak a single sentence. Schools do not teach life success or financial literacy. Young people memorize derivatives, integrals, and historical dates, yet graduate without knowing how to survive, pay taxes, or discover their own talents. Knowledge is transformed from something that simplifies life into a heavy burden. Today, understanding life itself is not enough for someone to be considered wise. They need framed certificates hanging on their wall. We have become so trapped that we worship the fake prestige of titles while refusing to listen to truth from someone without a diploma. Money is simply a tool for exchanging the value of labor. Trade is natural and necessary for life to function. Rational systems, timing, interest, and balance can all exist reasonably within commerce. Interest itself is not the true evil. Exploitation and predatory usury are. At its core, life is simple. You fulfill your needs and continue living. Needing less is the greatest form of wealth. Yet we built a system where we buy things we do not need, with money we do not have, to impress people we do not even like. Then we spend our lives enslaved to systems that generate money in order to sustain this illusion of prosperity. A simple, economical vehicle is enough to travel from point A to point B. Yet we take on 5 years of debt for luxury cars, just to impress neighbors or social media audiences. Then we spend extra hours every day at jobs we hate to pay for the insurance, maintenance, and taxes of those cars. A warm home should be enough for shelter. Instead, we mortgage 20 years of our lives for houses we can barely afford. We do not own the house owns us. You cannot convince people that if you consume less, you will work less and have more time for yourself. The system has convinced us so deeply that spending more means being happier, that even while drowning in debt, we still crave more luxurious chains. The essence of justice is so simple that even a child can understand it at first glance. Give the rightful their rights, punish wrongdoing, protect the weak from the strong, and do not violate another person's life or property. This alone is the formula for social peace. But power structures, governments, and bureaucracies transform this obvious truth into labyrinths of laws, regulations, clauses, and ancient terminology. Because the more complicated, expensive, and inaccessible justice becomes, the more wealth and power can be extracted from corruption, lobbying, and favoritism. When someone's rights are stolen in broad daylight, justice should be swift. Instead, legal cases drag on for years. Filing fees, legal costs, and expert expenses make seeking justice more expensive than surrendering your rights. People are forced to give up by saying, "It costs more than it's worth." For simple signatures or permissions, we spend days collecting documents from office to office. The system suffocates people with the bureaucracy it created itself, then presents digital services or fast-track processing as if it were doing us a favor. People have been convinced that justice only exists inside giant courthouses, thick law books, and expensive legal systems. We stopped trusting conscience and obvious truth. We became hypnotized into searching for justice not in what is right, but in procedural complexity. The essence of art is pure emotion, a melody touching the heart, a painting calming the soul, a poem bringing tears, or a sculpture inspiring awe. Art exists to lighten the burdens of modern life and make human beings freer and more beautiful. Today, even art and aesthetics have become giant markets of deception and status. Art is no longer nourishment for the soul, but a system where elites show off to each other, launder money, and intentionally make ordinary people feel ignorant. Random paint splashes, garbage thrown on the floor, or bananas taped to walls are sold for millions under the claim of deep conceptual meaning. If ordinary people cannot understand a work at first glance, it is considered superior and intellectual. We abandoned architecture and urban design that uplift the human spirit and replaced them with depressing concrete blocks marketed as modern and futuristic. We dulled our own sense of beauty. Humanity has been conditioned to require the approval of art critics before enjoying art itself. People who no longer trust their own eyes or hearts applaud this culture of incomprehensibility simply to avoid appearing uncultured. To love someone, to speak without masks, to rest your head on their shoulder, these are among the easiest and most healing acts in the world. Love does not calculate or strategize, it simply exists. Yet social media aesthetics, relationship coaches, manipulation tactics, and endless expectation lists have turned love into a transactional partnership. Nobody appears as they truly are anymore. Everyone sees others as consumable objects. When we genuinely like someone, instead of naturally expressing ourselves, we invent childish power games like "I should reply late to seem valuable," or "they should call first." We suffocate sincerity with our own hands. When choosing partners, instead of looking at character, honesty, and spiritual compatibility, we focus on salary, status, and the luxury of the wedding ceremony. We turn relationships into corporate mergers from the very beginning, then ask therapists why we are unhappy. Today, if you approach someone sincerely and without hidden motives, they become suspicious. They must want something, they think. Sincerity has become so forgotten that people no longer believe in pure love. From our own insecurity, we created a giant industry of loneliness. And now, we pay the price for it. The essential message of religion is profoundly simple. Live morally, act justly, avoid indecency, remain clean in spirit, and turn toward the Creator. It is timeless, simple, and free from unnecessary burden. But throughout history, religions have been reshaped according to human desires and the interests of ruling powers. Core morality was abandoned, while cultural traditions, geographical conditions, and human inventions were presented as divine commands. Religion became a tool for manipulation, blessing what benefits certain groups while forbidding what does not. Just as exploitative usury can suffocate healthy commerce, fabricated religious burdens were layered onto pure faith, making belief heavy and restrictive. The original divine concern is morality, protecting people from corruption and indecency. In certain historical contexts, modesty was expressed through specific cultural forms. But over time, many contextual traditions became frozen into rigid dogma, treated as if form mattered more than morality itself. Even practices with no true religious basis, including harmful traditions born from patriarchal ignorance, were wrapped in religious packaging and legitimized. Human brutality was sold to the masses as divine will. Over time, these inventions become so taboo that even when disproven by reason and science, people continue accepting them as absolute truth. As the hypnosis deepens, meaningless burdens grow heavier. Humanity becomes like donkeys carrying books, loaded with rituals, superstitions, and fabricated rules while disconnected from morality and reason. We turned faith into a labyrinth with our own hands, then continued clinging to the very lies suffocating us inside it. The essence of humanity in coexistence is peace. A Turkish villager, a Greek fisherman, an American worker, and an Iranian shopkeeper fundamentally want the same thing: to live peacefully, raise their children safely, and survive with dignity. Borders are artificial. The world is large enough for everyone, yet power centers, arms dealers, and political elites build enormous systems of fear and hostility to destroy this peaceful essence. Through media, propaganda, manipulated history books, and artificial nationalism, they hypnotize populations into believing they must kill strangers they have never met and hold no personal hatred toward. War means billions of dollars for defense industries and global elites. Artificial crises and hatred are manufactured first. Entire populations are turned against each other, then weapons are sold to both sides. After the destruction comes reconstruction contracts. War becomes a global commercial cycle fed by the blood of ordinary people. Leaders who live in luxury and never send their own children to the front lines speak passionately about sacrifice and patriotism. Meanwhile, poor young men struggling to survive become both killers and victims for the profit of those above them. Humanity has been so deeply conditioned to believe wars are fought for homeland or ideals that speaking about peace is treated as betrayal. Just as fabricated religious rules are worshipped, fabricated enemies are worshipped too. People become hypnotized enough to applaud bombs purchased with their own taxes falling on children in distant lands. We created this painful reality with our own hands. Let us be honest with ourselves. We cannot abandon these systems, comforts, titles, institutions, and habits overnight. Human beings do not instantly leave familiar environments, even when those environments are fake and enslaving. Freedom does not begin with radical external escape. It begins with profound inner awakening. The solution is not to burn everything down or add new burdens to our lives. The solution is to see reality clearly and gradually reduce unnecessary weight. You may not destroy the labyrinth in one day, but you can stop being a blind victim, endlessly crashing into its walls. Even if you cannot leave the system, you can live while understanding how it manipulates you. You may not eliminate every lie, but you can move closer to truth each day. Once you begin recognizing the sweet lies loaded into your mind, soul, and wallet, the system slowly loses its absolute power over you. My dear friend, I am not asking you to destroy your life overnight, or abandon everything and fall into emptiness. That would neither be realistic nor sustainable. The machinery of the modern world continues turning, and we all exist within it somehow. But you do not have to allow those gears to completely crush you. Real awakening and lightness begin not by abandoning everything, but by becoming conscious of everything. Keep your diploma or your position, but know that your title does not determine your human worth. Do not worship status, let your character define your strength. Continue working and earning money, but stop selling your life for things you do not truly need. Spend with awareness, knowing that consumption does not liberate you, it binds you. Continue navigating legal systems if necessary, but never forget that real justice begins within conscience, not paperwork. Follow procedures without selling your soul to corruption. Live your faith, but filter traditions, superstitions, and fabricated burdens through reason and conscience. Recognize that many structures demanding blind obedience are protecting their own power, not truth. Slowly put down the sacks of unnecessary rules placed upon your back. Live in a world full of war cries, but refuse artificial hatred. See the interests and industries hiding behind propaganda. Protect peace within your heart. Life is not a knot solved in one day. It is a path walked slowly and consciously. Moving one small step closer to truth each day is enough. Do not throw yourself into hopelessness. Stand firmly on the ground of reality. You may not wipe the paint from your eyes all at once, but you can begin seeing naked truth through the cracks. Even while living inside the labyrinth, remember that the map to the exit exists within your own mind and conscience. And when that happens, no matter where you are physically, your soul will become lighter, and you will finally become free.